Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest on of War Soulstorm cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 1 vs 1 on Tranquility's End. Playing on the northern side as the Dark Eldar, we've got Alix UK. On the southern side as the Necrons, we've got Sirkorsky. Sirkorsky will be opening up with a fistful of Bill of Scarabs and a couple of plasma generators, whereas Alix UK is going to go for triple Mandrake squads, a Dark Foundry, and a plasma generator. So very excited for this match as it's been on the Discord for a little bit of a while. I've had it on the back burner for a bit, as because, from what I can understand, this game is going to be quite the slobber knocker. I wanted to make 100% sure that my mind and brain was working completely, so I could then dedicate my maximal frontal thinky bits into casting this game to the optimal level and ability that I could bring. So yeah, so interesting that we're going to see a Dark Foundry from the Dark Eldar. You would sometimes see a Hall of Blood and such for the warriors and their side brights and such. But no, it's going to be a Dark Foundry and maybe potentially a whole bunch of, what they're called, the Reaver jet bikes to go out and about against the Necron warriors. You could also see some Hellions try and beat back the Builder Scarabs and cap and decap stuff across the map, which are both valid salads to save up on the table of war. Now, the Necrons up against the Dark Eldar are going to have a bit of a difficult time. I think the last time we had a Dark Eldar versus Necrons game, I do believe it was Sirkorsky, actually, who was playing the Necrons in that game, although he was on the northern side of the map. And for reasons, the Necrons have a bit of difficulty against the Dark Eldar. Mainly the Necron Lord, he struggles up against these guys, as the Archon has got several stuns and roots and such, which the Necron Lord does not fancy at all, likes to be nice and nimble with his teleporting. I'm attempting to build up a Ghost turret to protect this strategic point, as well as maybe the Relic on this side as well. Normally we would see a lot of argy-bargy going on the right-hand side, which is exactly what the Mandrakes seem to be doing. After all, there's less negative cover for them to fight over on this side, so less ranged weaponry comes over and causes them issues. And the Bill of Scarab narrowly avoiding death will decide to come over and I assume capture the critical location as they do. This lonely Bill of Scarab almost close to death, just bobbing and weaving, doing the old dozy-dirt around the Ghost turret. Mandrakes keeping on his tail though. Can he survive? No, he can't survive. But the Mandrakes are also losing a couple of their number as well. Now, one thing that I'm fairly certain of, in fact I'm almost 100% certain of, is that the Necrons don't drop any souls. So if the Dark Eldar want to make use of their soul essences during the game, they will need to focus on farming their soul essence from the slave chambers, which is what you would normally see anyway in the game. But in the early game, you could sometimes see a torch slave come over and nab a couple of cheeky souls here and there just for some early game badness in the form of their corrosive acid, although I suppose that's more tier 2. But their piercing shout, or whatever you call that, which breaks morale across the board. The Scarab's still running away. And the Reaver jetbike, beautifully pink. Well, violet. Oh, you've got a face. It's like a poor man's Total Biscuit, something like that. I don't know. There's a face, and I like it. A bearded man. Powerful man indeed. Somebody caught attempting to block off that Reaver jetbike. Very cheeky from Sirkorsky. Necron Warriors almost snagging that Reaver jetbike, but the Ghost turret manages to get it in the end. Not super expensive though. But you're not going to build up any more. That was just one. And into tier 2. Now, if you young whippersnappers are fans of the what's it called? Patreon, you will have seen last Sunday there was a wonderful Soulstorm game, Eldar versus Dark Eldar, and a player who was playing Dark Eldar, for the life of me I can't remember who it was doing a really good showcase of how the Reaver jet bikes are good in the early game and can transition quite well into the later stages of the game. But I don't think against Necrons you'll probably want to see too much in the way of Reaver jet bikes. It's not until tier 2 happens and you get that Reaver targeting module on. After all, the Necrons have got access to the Immortals, which basically delete Reaver jet bikes at the drop of a hat. So very hard to keep them alive. Was up against the Eldari, the Fire Dragons don't quite delete things as quickly as the Immortals do. Also lack the range that the Immortals have. It will stick around, lower the amount of the Bill of Scarabs. The Disruption Fields has finished for the Necron Warriors, so it increases their range damage. And that is that for the moment. Mandrakes calmly capping the critical location. Bill of Scarabs are waiting. And one thing I always neglect is that look at the size of the Bill of Scarabs in comparison to everything else. They are quite chunky. If the Necrons just learn to put a weapon on them, it'd do some good, but I suppose, do you really want it? Do you want to waste weaponry on something that's a builder scarab? I've just called them a regular scarab at that point.
6 minutes until
attack builder scarab?
victory.
Middle scarab. I don't know whatever naming nomenclature you want to give that hypothetical scarab, but there we go. Scarabs with Mr. Landshark, thinking with your thinky bits. Some might call that a brain, but I don't know about that. Our way Tower of Loathing is going to go down to this mass of Necron warriors, and that is 3 squads. 1 of 8, 1 of... Hold still. 1 of 7, and 1 of 5. I'll let you do the math, because I'm not going to today. You know what? No, I in previous games, I always do the math. No, it's your turn to do the math this time. You crazy cats and kittens. Hopefully the ones are inside the base, and I don't think that the Dark Eldar really know what's going on at the moment. Assume that they were thinking, oh yeah, the Necrons will come over, delete some stuff, and then teleport back home, but... Well, I mean, if it's free real estate, may as well just walk in and kill whatever you can. 1 Tower of Loathing about to go down, the second one soon to follow. That is a massive amount of economic damage for very little problems that the Necrons have been given, but I suppose these 3 Mandrakes on their own with a Reaver Jetbike in support probably won't actually win, especially with the Flayed Ones in the mix. Gonna wait for that Archon to come out. Also got the Poison Blades research and the Archon Retinue enhancement. Also got the Disruption Corruption, so these guys can attack a lot quicker. Here they come in now, souped up Mandrakes, ready to get those slices in. Every time they stab a mister, damage over time from those Poison Blades. Hollow Blood is about to go down, but the Archon has been popped, so doesn't really matter if that goes down too much. And there we are, the Necrons falling foul. Glowing like baleful suns, much like the suns that their race had to endure in the early stages of their evolution. And I suppose later on in the stages of their evolution, when the old ones pushed them back to their homeworld, Tower Lovings will be reborn. We can rebuild them bigger, faster, stronger. Hey, Drukhari, we have the technology, and that forces the Necron warriors home, so maybe a little bit too cautious. They might have been able to do some damage to the warriors earlier on, but I suppose that just guarantees that the warriors will be forced back home, but they've certainly done the damage. Current economy is 98 and 30, compared to 76% and 80. Tier 2 has finished for the Necrons, getting that summoning core as well, so Tier 2.5 on the way. And plenty of dead Necrons inside the base. Got Necron Lord finished as well. Do you have your Forbidden Archives? Not at the moment. Got a Reaver Jetbike just chilling out on the right hand side. I suppose now is the time for the Necrons just to rebuild and get back over there. Just continuously break down the economy as much as you can. Which cult arena is to be built up? Those Flayed Ones are still inside the base. The Archon having his morale broken. What a nuisance. Bring back those Mandrakes to finish them off, but I suppose they're trying to put the pressure back onto Necron's lickety-split. Getting the caps in where they can. Necron warriors now pressing down onto the left-hand side. Not as many Necrons as they had before, but they are reinforcing them just a smidgen. Blade Ones point-blank refuse to leave. Like that friend that you invite to a party one time. Everyone else has gone, and they just sit back on the couch, and it's like, come on, man. Everyone else has gone. Time for you to go. But do they? Absolutely not. Well, Reaver Jetbike is in here. But the Flayed Ones are just... Oh, there we go. Teleport back home. Just out of politeness. Just Necron... Oh, no. Why would we teleport back home then? We got the opportunity to tank for the Necron Warriors as they jitter over into the base at the moment. Although this is probably far too much for them to deal with. I don't think their teleport back home has recharged yet as well. So unless they've got something special planned, can't imagine what the plan is here. They're going to teleport back home one at a time. Maybe this is just to keep the Dark Eldar inside their base at the moment, while the Necrons make use out of their increased time burner speed and such. Here comes the Necron Lord. What is his plan? The phase shift. That'll keep them alive for a brief moment. Necron Warriors have been stunned into place. Not sure why they need to be stunned. I suppose that was just to prevent them to get involved in close combat, which is moving on over. Another combat stimulants being unladen across these very angry, scantily clad women. I've only got one leg out there, so I suppose that's less scantily clad than some other models in some other mods. Those thirsty devs that they are. Necron Lord off in the distance, looking like he's running through the fields with the tortured slave. Also got some flayed ones coming in. Last of the Necron Warriors have been poisoned to death, if you can believe that. And a bit of a weird assault going on the right hand side at the moment. Sirkorsky doing a wonderful initial engagement, but is he throwing too much in too quickly? Kind of popping them in piecemeal at the moment. We weren't going to break for the Witch's line for larger amounts of models. I don't know what to expect for smaller amount. I'm just giving these girls more opportunity to get some more out as well. The Necron Lord is going to come back home, but the last of Necrons here to be broken down. Oh no, never mind. Oh, there we go. A resurrection, beautiful to see. Also brings them up with the phase shift, although then teleports away. Problem with the resurrection orb is that everyone comes up with half health, so they are not as durable as when they first come out. But I'm not sure what that... I mean, you had probably more Necron Warriors here to resurrect. Or maybe we're planning to move the flayed ones over here, making a mass pile of dead on the left-hand side, maybe. But no, well, all Necrons are dead, including the Necron Lord. And that is now a sizable amount of Witches. Exclusively close combat focus for Alix UK at the moment. 100% time bonus for the Necrons, though. They've got their maximum amount of obelisks on the field. And they're just going to get some more Necron Warriors. Might have been an idea if you had this number, just to get a second monolith out, but you don't have the numbers or the economy for it at the moment. How many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... right, 8. That is... That's a fair enough amount of plasma generators. You don't really want more than 8, realistically. Unless you're just doing so well and you're being hemmed in that much that you can't really break out. But here they come. Driving on down, also benefiting from those poison blades research that we saw earlier on. The Ghost turret is still alive. They'll be upgraded to a heavy Ghost cannon. Necron Warriors are out en masse, although they've been turned against each other. Very unfortunate. That means there's only 3 Necron Warrior squads as opposed to 4 opening fire, but they'll be soon turned back to their original purpose. Could really probably do with a Tomb Spider in this scenario. Just do some recycling in the background, as the Witches won't be killing a vehicle too quickly. There we go, got a Destroyer. Reasonably fast firing rate. Good singular damage to our individual models. Unlike other vehicle units at this stage of the game, lacks the AoE damage and the knockback. But quite swift and nimble. Yeah, just more Necrons to resurrect later on, I imagine. Necron's back up there. And he could just probably just resurrect these guys and start a full frontal assault inside the base. Although probably wants to save that for these guys to get into position. I imagine, I hope. He's got the phase shift. So he'll just be standing there. He's like, do you mind? Don't appreciate all this pink stuff you're throwing at me. There's the Resurrection Orb. So refreshing to see. And that is a good amount of Necron warriors back on the field. It's such a beautiful animation. Destroyer comes in. A couple of flayed ones also on the flanks as well. Getting resurrected. But that guy just came up just a little bit later for whatever reason. We've also got Necron Lord teleporting around on this side. Keeping on top of the Scourges. Which gives these guys ample opportunity to come on over. Double Destroyers and plenty more Necrons. This is where the Horde faction really comes in and also allows them to go over their squad cap of 20 to a maximum of 24, I do believe. And yeah, just send more and more in. Mass up the piles of corpses. Because Necronlord's dead over here, whilst rebuilding when the Dark Eldar are outside the base, you've basically got a resummonable army at your fingertips at the drop of a hat. Especially if you get that secondary monolith on the go. Scourge squad's been broken down by that destroyer. Almost getting a squad wipe on him. But those guys almost killing the destroyer in return. It does manage to get done in, which is looking less than desirable at the moment. Here comes some more flayed ones as well. And I mean, counter to this, dare I say, and I will wash my mouth out of soap with this later on, but probably a Talos. Send a melee vehicle in. The Necrons don't really have much anti-vehicle going on at the moment. He does his AoE knockbacks with his melee attacks, just to keep these guys nice and, you know, spread out and such. That would probably be the one rare singular occasion where I would recommend such a devilish vehicle. Necron Lord's back out. Here comes that phase shift. Keep the guys alive. Also helps them with their health regen as well. And whenever the Necron Lord comes back to life, that resets all of his cooldowns as well. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, I could be wrong. Maybe there's some abilities that don't have that, or maybe still require a little bit more cooldown. Either way, though, from 24 down to 6 squad cap, teleports away, but still under effect of the poison. Will go down. That's another reason why the Necron Lord really struggles in this matchup. You build up enough poison on him, no matter where he teleports away, he'll still be done, did, gotten. Yes, I think that's the technical term. Good economy, 76 and 109. Compared to 104 and 29. Not the mightiest economy, 18 minutes in. Not what you really fancy at all. Yeah, definitely some vehicles. There's that second monolith. Here is tier 3 from Sirkorsky. So yeah, I mean that's just tier 2 mischief there. Necron's not even showing the full-fledged might of their power at the moment. And so the witches attempting to push out again. Billiscal will spot them, which means they probably want to get involved ASAP before the Necrons decide to do any other mischief. I mean, just look at this. This is prime real estate. We'll probably want to watch from the Necrons' perspective, just so we can quickly click on that Necron Lord when he pops out, just so we don't miss any of the action. They've killed one obelisk. But that, still at 20 squad cap for their infantry. He is back on the field now. Teleports right in there. Go on, give us another. Like the Pharaohs of old. Bringing the boys back up. And here they are. Just from 0 to 24. Or whatever number it was previously. In an instant. As we say, half health, but for the price of nothing. It's pretty cost efficient. There they come. And the Dark Eldar don't really have a lot of econ, as we just saw. Potentially might get that Dark Foundry down. But to be fair though, the DPS of the Witches breaking down these warriors pretty swiftly. might be a case where you're going to save that Resurrection Orb for the end of a battle. Let's say you've already got 20 squad cap of whatever infantry you want. Send them into battle, break down the Witches and the Dark Eldar as much as you can. And then just as the battle is about to be over, and the Witches are low on numbers and such, that's when you pop the Resurrection Orb just to come at them for a second wave. Not giving them a chance to recover. But still, I mean, this patch of Necrons here stops these guys from coming out. It's a very rare occasion where the Necrons now have a very clear case of map control. They've got destroyers in the triplets. And they've also got the pariahs as well. A resilient, robust, close combat unit. Able to slow down infantry units with every slap of their sticks. So long as the individual model that did the slapping remains alive. Does stack as well. Again, if memory serves. As I mentioned in the video a couple of days ago, you know, when you get to my age, boys and girls, memory's not quite as good. There's two spider. Probably want to see actually a couple of these. If you're going for the recycling theme of your resurrection orbs and such, then probably a couple of tomb spiders wouldn't go amiss. Here are the scourges for the ranged support on the witches. Just decorating the floor with more dead bodies, I imagine. For these warriors. Double destroyers. And, oh right, oh, that's very interesting as well. You've gone for the howling something, the Shroud of Terror or whatever, which breaks morale and also forces these ladies to run away. Oh, there we go, the Nightmare Shroud, that's what you're called. Well, this is just nice. Never get to see a Necron Lord go for anything other than the standard 3. And now we're seeing two unusual forbidden artifacts, which is just fantastic. But now that the witches have, you know, kind of got their own composure back, they're coming back in. But not as mighty as they once were. And here's what I mean. Just when things start dying. Yep. Oh. Why? Oh, right. Why have you gone for attack scarabs? What's this function? They're flying. They're the worst air unit in the entire game. It was a bit of a misclick. I imagine, sir. Yeah, I don't think that Resurrection Orb was timed bestly. If that's even a word. Probably wanted to wait for a large amount. I mean, you've got all this down here that you can make use of. That's okay, I assume he's just on auto reinforce that Necron Lord. Yes, he is. 250 green, though. Will start to eat into your economy once those plasma generators start decaying. I suppose it depends on who's got the easier army to reinforce. Because the witches, even though they've been beaten several times, I don't think they've actually lost that many models in each engagement. Necron Lord is back inside the Dark Eldar base, but they now have a whole smorgasbord of Reaver jetbacks to take care of things. These guys with that Reaver targeted module. Oh, you can't scare vehicles, Necron Lord, that's not how it works. You've got no morale. Just going to phase shift, which are going to and ah about whether they should press on or go back home to defend, I assume. Probably going back home to defend is what they want to do. Necron Lord teleports away. He's got a plan. He's got a plan and some thinking to do. Scourges come over to attempt to maybe get a flanking maneuver on the destroyer. Land on top of that Necron Lord. Here comes a charge. The pariahs have been stunned into place. Scourges now move over on the back lines. Pariahs have been turned amongst themselves. Warriors attempting to get the damage done, but don't quite have the substantial level of DPS that the witches do. The fast-firing pistols. Destroyer moves back a little bit. Also got the heavy destroyer to take care of the Reaver jetbikes when they come swooping in. So they're attempting a flanking maneuver. Necron Lord is dead once again. As the Necrons occupy the little island in the middle of everything. And yeah, the Scourges to kill the Destroyers. Reaver Jet Bites to kill the Warriors. Doesn't take that many shots. Is it just a one-shot, one kill from the Heavy Destroyer? I think it might be, actually. We'll see if he gets one shot. Come on, kill him. Get a shot off. Yeah, it is literally one shot, one kill. Good lord. Be very careful with your micro then. Necrons have decided that this lane here is their lane of choice. They will just keep on marching up and down this until eventually something breaks. Much like the Tower of Loathing. Looking at the economic situation, it's 76 and 103 compared to 104 and 43. Tier 3 on the way for the Drukhari. Archon somehow died in that combat. Will be redone though, but will take a while to reinforce with all those Incubi. That's the problem with commanders that have got a squad attached to them. There we go, Golden Sun of the Planetary Strike add-on. Don't forget your tea. That's good. Always remember to drink a cup of tea mid-combat. That's the way to do it. I personally am a fan. No, Heresy. I'm about to say Heresy at the moment, but I'm personally a big fan of the old Masala chai. Not a big fan of Yorkshire tea. I know, I'm sorry. That's going to get me lambasted in the comments. A man from Yorkshire, not a fan of Yorkshire tea. It's just a bit same old, isn't it? Give me something that kicks you in the back of the throat, that's what I say. Both of my choice in tea and in women. But the Destroyers on the front lines. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Should probably let the Warriors take the lion's share of the damage, considering that these guys can reinforce themselves, whereas the Destroyers cannot. I don't think that the Necron Lord's Resurrection Orb resurrects these guys. Oh, a beautiful Soulstorm there. It's all these guys, and the Warriors don't have the movement speed to really get out of it. That's why they're just standing in the middle of it, just accepting their fate. Here comes some extra lads coming back from the dead. See what they can get done. Just when you thought the Necron Warriors were too many, well, there's just more coming out from the floor. Yeah, those guys just stood right in the middle of that Soulstorm. Didn't care one iota. Brought them all down to at least half health. But they're just keeping on. I suppose that's one thing that the Dark Eldar do lack, is the AoE damage, which mass amounts of infantry do tend to struggle with. Which is why I'm saying a Talos might potentially be the way forward here. But maybe not now that the Necrons are in tier 3 and they have access to their heavy destroyers. There was a window, man. There was a window of opportunity. Always continue. You can barely see the floor for all the dead Necrons. Here's a question. After a while, do the bodies just start to despawn? Just because there's so many. But the Immortals attempting to snag the Tower of Loathing on the Relic. Mandrakes do see them and will basically lock them out. Warriors continuing the push. This poor Torch Slave, in fact a couple of Torch Slaves on the back lines frantically collecting as many lost souls as humanly possible just to fund the Dark Eldar effort. They've got plenty of soul essences. Might be a case of just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. You know, throw a corrosive acid on the floor. Get a blooming Terror Shriek in there, just whatever you can. Just to get all the advantages humanly possible. Well, managing to narrowly hold off for the moment. As the Necrons, I mean, what's your plan at the moment? You're going to go for another Necron Lord. Spamming out the Necron Warriors. I assume... Oh, right, you're deleting your plasma generators. Then rebuild fresh ones. I see. After all, I mean, yeah, the Dark Eldar, their points are going to decay all day long. Whereas the Necron's economy, you could just basically sit back at home and rebuild everything. God, it must be really frustrating being locked inside your own base. Howling screams, scaring away the Archon. And this Torch Slave, bless him. He's already seen the horrors of the Drukhari. And now he's seen the horrors of the Necrons here. That's a question. Who would you prefer to be captured by the Dark... Well, no, that's a silly question. Of course it's Dark Eldar, that's the worst option. The Necrons will, you know, just probably not really care and kill you. Unless, of course, you're part of that. Oh, who's the biomancer person Madoodad from the Warhammer Plush experiments on people? Either way, you're guaranteed to die at some point. The Dark Eldar, they'll keep you alive for as long as humanly possible. Definitely not a vibe, quote-unquote. The Warp Beast packs. And these guys are capable of ripping basically anything to shreds. But mind you, the questionable choice. Necron Lord teleports in, activates his, ooh, I'm a scary bugger ability. And that'll burn the morale, making them fight amongst each other. Yeah, okay, they've got the Beastmaster, but that makes them vulnerable again to another morale break if they're able to crack off two in short succession. Necron Warriors again being turned amongst themselves. Necron Lord just goes back into the base there and says, right, you buggers, get back up. But not many awaken. Oh, right, I see, sir. I get it now. If you've got 0 army already, it resurrects up to 24 on your squad cap. But if you've already got some, it reduces the amount that it resurrects around you. Fair enough. Well, in that case, would you not wait for your whole army to die? Well, I suppose that's a bit risky, isn't it? It might be wise to go for a third Necron monolith. Just so you can spam out the Necron Warriors even quicker. Maybe, Mr. Landshark. Maybe. Short to chagrin that we've not seen a energy core there. Probably expect to see that a lot earlier than now. I mean, the essence of the Deceiver, or even the Night Lord, just being a nuisance, would do some good. There we go, scaring the boys away, and the girls. Well, actually scaring the Warp Beasts towards the Necron base, allowing them to maybe potentially get a quick squad wipe over here. Warp Beasts killing each other at the moment. Although the Beastmaster is not entertaining it even for a moment. And just to get them back on track for a brief while before falling back. Very nice use of the Nightmare Shroud. Just to push enemies further towards your guys rather as opposed to get them away from you guys. And flayed ones, yes, that's what you want to see. Going toe to toe with the Warp Beasts. I'll break the morale. Lickety split. The cooldown on that ability that makes the Necrons turn against each other. Remarkably short when you've got triple Incubi out. The Archon is dead there. It's taken a fair while to rejoin the squad. Good lord, it's 30 minutes into the match and it's very difficult to know who's on the cusp, really. I mean, the Necrons, yeah, okay, it looks like they've got the advantage, but I mean, it's essentially what it's done is that it's allowed them to get a bit more map control, but it's not giving them that killing blur. Whatever army they can muster in here can easily be killed from these guys. And whatever they're pushed down with from the Drukhari side of things, well, Necrons seem to be able to bash it back every time. Yeah, the Drukhari probably want some vehicles. They're going to go for a Raven. Interesting. Why for a Raven? Is it... suppose it's more fire support, I guess? Beautiful, beautiful Soulstorm. Capturing all these guys, but also doing some damage to the witches and everyone else, but it's basically a disco and everyone's invited. The Dark Eldar don't care who gets hurt, so long as someone's getting hurt. The Necron's much cheaper to reinforce than the witches. I mean, what, at 60 blue and 15 green? Yeah, it's just stupidly expensive. Especially that the Eldar are losing their listing posts or just working on atrophied Towers of Loathing at the moment. But somehow, somewhere, you know what, I wasn't expecting this. I thought the Necrons were going to well these girls down, but they just have the edge in a long-term engagement. It's just the constant use of those combat stimulants. Really showing things off. Have we now gone for leader health number 2? Here's the first Raven. That face really putting off, actually. Those eyes, man. That's the eyes of a madman. Willing to take you back to Camera. Torch Slave going to pick some boys up in the form of souls. Question, boys and girls. The Horrifex, the homuncular, that's what it's called. He's got an ability, was able to explode corpses. Does that count for Necron corpses? Would that be a way to clean up the things inside your base? I for wonder. Or are the Necrons just immune to that kind of stuff? That's my question. I'm just surprised that we haven't seen the homunculus yet. As he can pop down a torch ramp, slow down Necrons even further, allowing these girls to maybe move out of the close combat and engage with their pistols, if that's what they want to do. I don't know. Raven going against infantry, heavy infantry, and vehicles, apparently. Well, I can't imagine. I mean, it's just the weediest looking aircraft in the entire game. But again, maybe the rare occasion where some attack scarabs might be the unit of choice for Sirkorsky here. Morale for the Necron Warriors not feeling too fast and furious at the moment. Is Necron Lord back? No, he isn't, but they are going to rebuild him. Teleporting back home to avoid getting all the squad wipes. And some flayed ones as well. There is the energy core. And the Necrons really do need to start rebuilding their plasma generators. It's taken them a fair while indeed. I suppose they've already got plenty up on at the moment. Is Necron Lord, and he's just ready. You just know it. It's a tune he's sang several times before, but you can't beat the hits. There's already quite a large amount of squad cap being filled, so I don't think many will come up, but I suppose you can, oh mind you, just turn into the Deceiver, throw it on a fake monolith, get your already armies teleport on over. When they die and your squad cap goes 0, then, yeah, that's the one Belcomi you want to see. But he dies. Which has kind of forced the Dark Eldar back. And, yeah, so all the pressure that we're putting onto this side is now dissipated. Oh, the mind games, man, the mind games. Look into his crystal ball. All you will see is just an infinite supply of really annoying Necrons. But this is a endgame level threat from the Drukhari. They've got double warp beasts. They've got plenty of witches, and now they've also got Raven support. Can they pull it off? Another Soulstorm, and that will be able to keep on top of the Necron Warriors as well. Alix UK has also got the critical location countdown victory on the go. Soulstorm not following these guys, dear oh dear. No, it's actually just doing more damage to the warp beasts that are fighting inside that Soulstorm. That is super unfortunate. Oh god, the worst possible scenario. And they're just going to munch their faces off until either someone talks sensitive. There we go. Giving them a couple of huffs of paint, and they're back on it. Now, here forms the soul cage. The pimp wagon itself may be coming forth, but just as the Dark Eldar push in, here comes a Necron Monolith. Now, this is all the unit knockback you could possibly want or need. Remarkable range as well. Oh, wee, there it goes. And the Drukhari saying no thank you, not to this. They'll probably have to wait for their dice of destruction as some sort of counter. But like I said, they've still got that critical location countdown. Those Scarabs have decapped one, they just need to decap another. But if the Drukhari can hold the line, then that will mean that they win. Really? Here comes another squad. Oh, they're going to attack two critical locations at the same time. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. And one advantage of the double monolith build is I can basically send this off into the distance Could probably also tear up this Necron monolith if you want. The moment that this dies, you've then got this one ready to go. And he's got the economy just to spam out those restore monoliths if he wants to. 1 minute to take an old victory, but the Bill of Scabs have started a decap. Well, mind you... Oh no, they won't be able to cap that before the Bill of Scabs decap this. Or will they? No, never mind me. Never mind my fur tenseness. Hotel Loving over here is being boofed. Casting a Resurrection Orb on these guys, but it does not seem that any of the Necrons are playing ball. No, they all just decided just to lie there. Fair enough. Oh no, never mind. One or two flayed ones got up. There we go. That's something. Oh, bit anticlimactic. Ravens attacking on the flanks, picking off Bill of Scabs where they can. Warriors over here for whatever reason. Got a Lord Destroyer, but no vehicles to capture. Oh no, you've got the Ravens to capture. Not a bad idea. If you can get past that monolith. Warriors are engaging against all these guys on their own. Yeah, it seems like Necrons are attacking kind of like they did earlier on, a bit piecemeal. Not sure this is what they want. Immortals being got in close combat. Necron Warriors pushing back the Ravens there. And it's just chaos and mayhem as the dice of destruction, all the guns a Drukhari could possibly fit on a vehicle. Master at taking out enemy infantry. Got the ladies in there as well, just to keep him into enemy. He's not even operating the vehicle, is he? He's just there just to be there. Why not? The Ravagers soon to come. Need to build up some more slave chambers there. Want to increase your vehicular stuff. And a diverse unit composition will pay the Dark Eldar a lot in dividends here, as that will force the Necrons to get some Immortals, or at least some Heavy Destroyers, rather than relying exclusively on just a mass of Warriors. The Necrons are starting to put up a besieging force here. Looking for a couple of Immortals. Here is a Ravager as well. Problem with Dark Eldar vehicles, that from a distance they all look kind of the same, really, don't they? But that was a little bit bigger. Necron's going to see what they can see as they just push on in, just a smidge. Sat at the gaping maw that is the Dark Eldar base, within range of the Tower of Loathing. And yeah, they don't need to come in and kill everything, just get a few bits of damage done. Gradually work their way in. Another Ravager being built up. A trifecta of Ravens in the sky. As the Immortals come on in. Necron Warriors being reinforced here. Beautiful dark swipe from the dice of destruction. These guys have been made immortal via the phase shift. And oh, you're going to go for the essence of the Nightbringer. Again, something that we don't normally see, but a flanking maneuver from the Drukhari. Going straight for that Restore Monolith, as its left flank has been left wide open. Soulstorm on top of it, and watch that health just absolutely plummet, but that teleport gets it out of the danger zone. Half health there, and the Dark Eldar just keep on top of him. Huge explosion. Knocks them back. The numbers are a little bit diminished, but it does seem that they're able to take it offline. Be so careful with that Restore Monolith. But the Nightbringers also killed the Dice of Destruction. Good heavens. We thought there was going to be relic on relic action, but no. Both the Necrons and the Dark Eldar have got the perfect tools to take them offline. Now Necron Lord is back on his feet. And all formations have just broken down. Who knows what's really going on in this engagement? Apart from water beasts running amok. Necron Lord attempting to scare everyone away, but everyone seems to be too busy chasing their opponents. Well, the Restore Monolith is going to get repaired. Like I say, if he was able to get this up to tier 3, you could then, while this is being repaired, start upgrading this into a Restore Monolith, then selling that out. But a third Restore Monolith is very rare that you see this. I suppose it's very rare that you see a game going on 45 minutes or longer. Good lord. And still, even with all this back and forth, I just can't imagine who's going to come out on top at the moment. The Necrons, I mean, what is it, economies at the moment? Oh, we've got a cheeky little phase stopping thingy-doodad from the Lord Destroyer. Oh, you don't see that often, do you? Look at that. Oh, yeah, so current economy is 73 and 61, compared to 100% and 149, so yeah, the Necrons could just pile like this all day long. They don't care. They'll just bring forth more and more, and gradually whittling down the Dark Eldar, whereas their economy is limited. And I think what the Necrons should do, probably, is not even try and decap the Dark Eldar spots at the moment, just to leave them with purely decayed strategic points. See if you can outlive them. Well, they've at least got 1 point here and 1 point here. That should be able to bolster their economic output. Even Alix UK just done in the chat was lamenting his lack of economy. A double warp beast to chew on the Necron warriors at the moment. Got a couple more squads coming over, but looking less than empowered as before. Over here, another monolith. Sorry, a obelisk even. Same difference, but different. And the Necron Lord just scaring away the warp beasts. Ah, that's such a strong ability against those beasties. And gonna resurrect all these Necron warriors. Got all these in here, man. Currently free real estate. Dark Eldar taking on another obelisk. And is that the Dice of Destruction once again out on the field? It is indeed. It is indeedy do. Played ones to break the morale of the warp beasts. But they are charging towards the Ravener. Just going for a lot of disintegrators. Flanking maneuver from the Witches. But so too is there a flanking maneuver from the Lord Destroyer. He's umming and ahhing about going towards the Ravener, but not quite. Now being stunned by the Archon. Been sliced and open. Storm Monolith has been finished. It's the original one. The OG Monolith, if you will. The Necrons seem to reinforce and bind so much that even though they've got quite a substantial economy, there's not much float going for them, all things considered. The Necron's been beaten all the way back to base with the increased firepower of those disintegrators. Also snagging the Tower of Loathing on the right hand side of the Necron naturals. Pardon me, just whacked the microphone stand then. Well, some others have been stunned into stasis by the Lord Destroyer, but then Lord Destroyer getting a taste of his own medicine. Let me take it down. Where is the Monolith gone? The Monolith is here. Where is the Lord when you need him? Not entirely sure. The Warrior's holding things off for now. I'm not sure you've managed to defend that, Mr. Sirkorsky. That looked like a game-ending push then, potentially. Why are you falling back? Is there something I don't realise? No. Not at all, I don't think. Was it because you knew that there's a monolith nearby? You weren't prepared to go up against One Warp Beast pack being wiped across the floor. And the Drukhari rebuilding itself. One jab from the building stick at a time. Well, hell's bells. Just when you thought it was over, absolutely not. Necrons there, struggling to keep their economy afloat for the amount of rebuilding that they need to do at all times. Everything's on auto build, I imagine. Could absolutely do with that Necron Lord back up there. One little scare in the middle of combat, followed by an Orb of Resurrection, is all the utility you need to potentially turn this, or any kind of in future engagement around.
They can hold victory.
Need some mortals as well to take care of the Dais and the Ravager. Unless you're planning to bring back the Night Lord to take on the Dais of Destruction again. Well, here comes an unrelenting charge. And the Monolith has already used its teleporting ability. So whatever it gets hit by, it's not going to escape. Combat Stimulants stuns Akimbo from the Archon. Necron Lord about to pop out and say hello. Triple vehicles on the back lines, just unleashing absolute hell. Flayed ones out in the open, but nothing really for them to focus on. And another Soulstorm, which is chunking through that Restore Monolith. No problems asked. It goes down. And is that an instant rebuild somewhere else? Don't know. Should definitely warrant to see it. Restored, the Resurrection Orb activating, but there's not that many dead Necrons over here, in all honesty. Only a couple. Here comes the essence of the Nightbringer. And his main target is going to be that Dais. Diabolical Dais, if you will. Heavy Destroyers taken down by the Ravagers. But that Dais, fast and nimble, it'll just drive its way on out of there. And now the essence of the Nightbringer, it's not slow by any margin, but it's also not as nimble as the Necron Lord. Can't teleport about the place, so let's take the long way into the Drukhari side of things. One big swipe from his scythe there. Oh, that was not a scythe. Swipe. Like a kick in the face. Oh, fair enough. One-man army. I've been supported by a couple of heavy destroyers. And a single volley from then. There's a good chunk of health. Done to everyone else. The Necron Lord is now back to his old usual self. He's had a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry, as they say. Though I'm not sponsored by Snickers. They don't want to sponsor me. I've been known to take a sponsor or two in my time. Being a professional channel, don't you know? Good lord, that is a remarkable firing line of vehicles. No more to deal with them apart from the heavy destroyers. If the Drukhari could focus down those destroyers there, that'll be good night for the Necrons unit composition here. A little bit of a sweepy sweep from the old Dark Lance there. And the Archon continuously making the Necrons not friends for a temporary amount of time. One destroyer down. Second one is about to be sent to Sin Bin, but just before you know it, one comes in return. And here's a whole smorgasbord of Necrons coming up the flank as well. The sheer weight of numbers against the elite, the cream of the crop of the Dark Eldar. What kind of money are you playing with at the moment? You've got plenty of money now, actually. You should be able to get more stuff out. But how long can you keep this up? Alix UK has got the countdown victory on the go again. Managing to beat back the stuff on left and side. Now doing damage on the right. And holy heck. The Dark Eldar, just in their darkest moments, seem to have pulled it back. Going to lose... Yeah, they've lost a couple of listening posts. But they're alive. And the economy isn't in total shambles. So that is something. Now do you go on the attack? Oh, look at this. You've got 3 different monoliths and 3 different states of being. That's fun. I like that. Yep, hit hard, hit fast, hit true. That's what the Drukhari need to do to break this stalemate, really. Sure, they've got their economy back on track for now, but for how much longer? The Necrons, they could just, as we've seen, just delete plasma generators and rebuild. They could play this game all night long. So I hope they don't. At some point, I need to go to bed. I suppose you guys probably do need to as well. Unless, of course, now the pause button works, in which case, good on you. You can pause this. I can't. I'm living it. There's no pause button for me at the moment. Well, there is. Down here. I could pause it every time I wanted. There wouldn't be a video, would there? You see, preemptive howlings. Save it for a main engagement, Sirkorsky. Wait for a big engagement and then throw a howl in. Seems to be just very willy-nilly with those forbidden artifacts. Here come the flayed ones. But I don't think the Necrons have got it in them this time. Outnumbered and outgunned. The population is full. They've not got the maximum amount of obelisks on the field at the moment. Dear oh dear. It was a damn fine stalemate for a while. It's not all over. I mean, all this supporting fire from the obelisks and the heavy ghost has somehow put these guys at bay again. I suppose one thing that the Dark Elves are going to be really careful of is that they don't want to overcommit to an engagement. If they lose their entire army, it takes them a while to rebuild it. The Necrons can just pop in and basically build up an army of their own in a matter of seconds. Offload wants to block the advancing line. The heavy destroyers trying to do what they can. Pardon me. Ugh. Not yawning because I'm bored, I'm yawning because I'm tired. It's quite exhausting doing a cast this long. Yeah, the Necrons don't seem to be able to amass that number up that they were doing earlier on. We've got the economy. Rebuild your Necron monolith, man. Or the restored monolith, even. Get that Lord out and about. Well, it seems that the warriors, being sent in piecemeal, aren't doing anything. We've now got a couple of warp beast packs coming on the right hand side. Corrosive acid on one monolith gets it down. No dramas at all. Plasma generators and the energy core to be broken down in hot succession as well. There's the other restored monolith. Come on, if anyone could do it. Someone, Alexa, play I Need a Hero Shrek 2 version. Apologies if you're at home and your Alexa starts playing that song, but that is important. We need a backing song. I can't play on the channel. I'll be copyright stricken. Where teleporting away to? Come on, lift. Nothing that'll help you. What's the speed that you maneuver at? Yeah, it goes down. Not really achieving much. And, well, yeah, the game essentially was stalemate all the way through. Necrons basically using an unusual combination of artifacts to hem the Drukhari into their base, which is a wonderful thing to see. But then, as the game goes on, numbers don't really mean much when you've got the elite fighting forces all fully upgraded. And once they start getting the Ravagers and the Dias and the Ravens out, the Necrons' warrior count didn't really matter, as they could just basically beat them down very quickly with the high levels of DPS. But what a fantastic game for both players. Thank you ever so much to Alix UK for sending this game into the Discord. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there is also Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.